Halo Mbak Anissa, halo Mbak Anissa, suaranya nggak? Halo Mbak Anissa, suaranya nggak ada Mbak.
Kelayakan tertinggi alias berakreditasi A ini tak main-main memoles mahasiswa-mahasiswanya agar tak sekarat pada zaman.
Visi dari Udinus adalah menjadi perguruan tinggi pilihan utama dalam bidang pendidikan dan kewirausahaan. Artinya, Udinus tidak sekedar mendidik mahasiswanya menjadi karyawan, tetapi juga memberi bekal, pengetahuan, dan kepercayaan diri agar para mahasiswanya juga menjadi seorang wirausahawan. Udinus sadar banget bahwa pada zaman sekarang menjadi karyawan itu juga susah. Kita bisa melihat bahwa dan ada lowongan 10 yang melamar 1.000 orang. Tentu sisanya dikemanakan. Oleh karena itu, Udinus memberi bekal sebanyak-banyaknya agar para mahasiswa alumninya mempunyai kemampuan untuk berwirausaha.
Mencetak alumni yang piawai membaca peluang lalu berkembang mandiri menjadi usahawan memang target utama Udinus. Ada 5 fakultas di Udinus yang membuat siapapun tak akan merasa sia-sia menyelami metode pembelajarannya. Fakultas-fakultas itu adalah Fakultas Ilmu Komputer, Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis, Fakultas Ilmu Budaya, Fakultas Kesehatan, dan Fakultas Teknik. Ada pula program Pasca Sarjana.
Yang menjadi alasan saya sebagai mahasiswa komunikasi memilih Udinus adalah Udinus sebagai kampus yang sangat expert di bidang komunikasi, khususnya didukung oleh fasilitas-fasilitas yang ada seperti lab komputer, lab multimedia, lab fotografi yang sangat bisa membantu mahasiswanya dalam memberikan kontribusi yang lebih baik untuk kami sebagai mahasiswa untuk bisa lebih berkreativitas, lebih bisa untuk bereksplor diri kami pribadi.
Cukup tinggi. Narasumber kita ada.
Oke, jangan lupa juga nanti sore di Kelurahan Gayam Sari di Gedung Geraha.
Move. Jam 5.
Cut. Oke, all crew, thank you.
Salah satu unggulan dari Udinus ya, tempatnya strategis di tengah-tengah kota. Lalu kalau kita cari di internet, di Google contohnya, kampus terakreditasi A di Semarang, ya, kota Jawa Tengah. Salah satunya Udinus. Dan kebetulan saya Fakultas Ilmu Komputer, jurusan Sistem Informasi. Sistem Informasi sendiri sudah terakreditasi A, mengapa saya tidak masuk ke sana? Dan lingkungannya, saya pribadi menurut saya sangat positif, mulai dari dosen, mahasiswanya, dan bahkan dari rektoratnya sendiri, saya merasa nyaman di sana. Jadi, saya tidak kecewa masuk Udinus, dan mungkin saya suatu hari ingin menjadi seorang programmer yang bisa memanfaatkan ilmunya untuk mengembangkan kota Semarang lagi.
Sama seperti Richard, Vina pun punya mimpi yang sama, mengembangkan Papua, tanah kelahirannya setelah lulus dari Udinus. Bekal ilmu yang didapat dari Udinus tak akan mereka sia-siakan.
Yang saya dapatkan yaitu sekarang saya sudah semester 5, saya sudah penjurusan yaitu saya ngambil software. Di sini saya diajarkan cara membuat software, aplikasi, seperti itu.
Tingginya kepercayaan diri mahasiswa-mahasiswa Udinus tak lepas dari kombinasi yang baik antara belajar dan praktik, sehingga ilmu dan minat berbisnis terasah seiring sejalan.
Saya sebagai mahasiswa sastra Inggris, saya bisa belajar tentang bisnis dan komputer yang menjadi dasar dari universitas ini. Dan untuk dosen muda, kita mahasiswa-mahasiswi itu mudah untuk mendekatkan diri dengan mereka. Tapi untuk dosen yang sudah senior, mungkin sedikit sulit untuk mendekatkan diri dengan mereka, tapi seiring berjalannya waktu, kita bisa dekat dengan mereka. Tapi ada juga dosen-dosen yang sudah senior, kita bisa dekat dengan mudah dengan mereka.
Harmonisasi antara dosen dan mahasiswa pada akhirnya memang membuat kreativitas di Udinus tak terbendung. Gamelan pun menjadi salah satu karya inovatif terbaik mahasiswa Udinus. Pada hakikatnya di Udinus, rutinitas belajar memang saling mengisi dengan kegiatan berkesenian. Tak cuma sekedar mengisi waktu ekstra, prestasi pun teroreh dari aktivitas non-akademik. Tak tanggung-tanggung, grup paduan suara Gita Dianuswa menyabet prestasi gold medal untuk kategori Folklore Taipei International Choir Competition tahun 2018. Belajar, berkesenian, dan tentu yang tak tertinggal adalah olahraga. Fasilitas untuk menyalurkan energi kebugaran cukup lengkap di Udinus. Dari bela diri taekwondo, basket, sampai panjat tebing tersedia. Semua menjadi pelengkap agar kreativitas dan naluri wirausaha terus berkembang. Tak cuma insting bisnis, potensi kemampuan berkomunikasi pun bakal meningkat di Udinus.
Sebagai seorang mahasiswa teknik informatika, saya mendapatkan hard skill yang mendukung saya sebagai seorang programmer. Namun di luar daripada itu, saya mendapatkan soft skill berupa komunikasi dan public speaking yang dapat mengantarkan saya sebagai seorang duta wisata Kota Semarang.
Kerjasama dengan universitas-universitas ternama luar negeri melalui program pertukaran pelajar membuat mahasiswa-mahasiswi Udinus juga memiliki kesempatan terbuka berkembang lebih jauh.
Di sini saya banyak mempelajari tentang budaya-budaya Jawa. Saya amat menyukai gamelan dan juga tarian-tarian tradisional di sini.
Udinus boleh dibilang layaknya kawah candra di muka. Di sini, ilmu pengetahuan dan penerapan bersisian ibarat keping uang logam. Mahasiswa-mahasiswa datang dan pergi, mengusung optimisme untuk menjinakkan zaman dimanapun bumi dipijak.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, all. How are you today? I hope today all is fine now. And then, first of all, let us give thanks to the presence of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala for giving grace so that we can gather in this classroom. Introduce myself is Sandy Novianto, who will serve as a moderator in the webinar on discussion on unlocking the power of AI in coding. Before we start in this event, it's better for us to pray first so that this event can run smoothly. Let's pray begin. Finish. Hello all. Hi Vivian.
Hi.
Are you already joined with us?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly.
I can hear you.
I think the sound is double, I think. Maybe let's check sound again. Hi Vivian.
Hi, can hear you, Sandy.
Okay, it's clear now. Okay then. How are you, Vivian?
Man, always good.
Oh, nice. Thank you very much. And we are happy because on this webinar, because you will be the speaker today. So before we start this webinar, I will read the series of events that we will do. The first one is moderator opening, that I will open this webinar, and then presentation of material with our speaker, Mr. Vivian Rogero. After that, we will go to the next session is question and answer session. And then last one is closing. All right, we start the first session, that is the opening. Let's say Basmalah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the next presentation of the material, I invite Mr. Vivian Roger to present his material. Mr. Vivian, all is yours.
Thank you, Sandy. Hi, everyone. I hope you have a bit of energy. You're all there, not just sleeping, you know. I know it's starting to be end of the afternoon, but still. So let me first share my screen. Okay, please type me in the chat if you can see my screen right now. I'll be happy.
Yes, we can see clearly.
Perfect. So everyone, today we want to speak about a burning topic, AI. Before we go there, why I'm saying it's a burning topic, everything that I'm teaching you today in 6 months will be obsolete in a certain way. So this is a topic that is moving faster than any topic currently. And gosh, it's exciting, and gosh, there is a lot to learn. But first, who am I? So I'm a VP IT Ops at IO Connect. So if you want to summarize that, that's simple. Anything that is not coding is on my plate. So being data, security, infrastructure, DevOps, all of that. And I've been in the IT industry for nearly 2 decades. And I started my first computer, I built my first computer in 1992. So I've been in this industry for, well, where floppy disk were basically your main hard drive. So it's been a long time. It's been a long time. I have worked for big companies, startups, Decacon, Gojek in Indonesia, SmartFriend, Bukalapak, IO Connect. In gaming, I've worked for Aya Games, Big Points. So I've worked in a lot of different fields and different industries, and innovative industries also, like VR. And today, let's go to our AI definition and history first, because we can't speak about a topic if we don't know where it's coming from. And most of us, me included, when I did my research, didn't knew everything about AI. So AI, it is a complex and multifaceted field. It's encompassed a wide variety and range of techniques, method, applications, And you first need to understand that AI is referring to the ability of machines to perform tasks that normally would require human intelligence. And now there is two main types of AI. Narrow of weak AI, which would be like this, or Siri, which is basically have only a set of answers and set of things that it can do. It is designed for a specific task, a specific problem. And we have general AI, which is the AI more like ChatGPT, where it's designed to exhibit human level intelligence, to replicate human intelligence. And AI has been actually here for over 80 years, because in 1940s, we can see the inception of what AI is. And you have to understand, in 80 years, that's a short period of time in human history. So that's really a testament of how human intelligence, creativity, and persistence have created that niche field, which is completely game-changing, especially in tech. So the birth of AI. In 1943, Warren McCall and Walter Pitts proposed the first artificial neuronal network. In 1950, Alan Turing introduced the Turing test for evaluating machine ability to exhibit intelligent behavior. It is still today the reference test for any machine intelligence testing. Then the first time we coined and the term existed, artificial intelligence, was in 1956, when the first conference in Dartmouth about AI as a field. So I want to ask you, there is one machine that is considered AI with narrow intelligence that was created before 1943. Can any one of you put the name of that machine in the chat? I will give you 2 minutes. Think about that. What was the first narrow AI machine that was born before 1943? And it's actually one of the most critical machines. No, not the calculator, but it's close to a calculator. The calculator is not AI, cannot think. Switch, no. No. This machine served millions of people. It helped won a war. Okay, yes, the Enigma. The Enigma machine was the first narrow AI application that is actually recorded. And so that birth of, artificial neural network, the Turing machine, the Turing test, yes, all of that. And it's a lot around 3 people, Alan Turing, McCall, Walter Pitts. Then we have John McCarthy and Minsky. So all those people were actually the pioneers of AI, and they wanted to understand the nature of intelligence and how machines could emulate that intelligence. So that's the foundation of what today we are seeing, Leonardo, ChatGPT, Text.ai, all of those things. And yes, Gabriela, that was used during World War II. You're not mistaken. That was used to decrypt the messages from the Germans, so the British could actually have proper intelligence on the ground. Now, we are currently in what we call tech winter in terms of investment, but there was an AI winter in the same way from 1960 to 1970. So there was reports coming on and on, 1960, 1974, that were not forward thinking regarding AI. They were thinking it's too early, it's too costly, it won't work, there is no potential. So there was frustration, disappointment, skepticism, and the fundings completely died up during that AI winter. It was a really challenging time for the community. Like any startups, any research need fundings to progress. So what we see nowadays in certain silo, like VR, for example, they saw it in AI. And so the problem also at that time was a lack of computing power. You have to think 1960, 1970, not the computers that we have today. So they were basically proposing an AI system, but they could not deliver because the machines were not there. But then in the 80s, 90s, that's where it started again. So first, and as a lot of technology started with medical. Medical is one of the well-funded industry. It started there. Then looking at 1986, we got to neural network. Like really how the propagation in those networks, what would happen to data and information in a neural network. And then we got the first breakthrough. So the chatbot Alice, Deep Blue actually beat at chess the world champion, Kimset, the first emotional support robot. So from 1980s, 1990s, that was an era of breakthrough, progress, was a clear resurgence of AI. And it was a clear turning point in history for us because it showed that there was concrete applications that was mass marketable in the future. So funding restarted, and now we have what we call the AI revolutions. It's basically from 2000 to 2021. Now it's extending to 2022, 23, but the big part was 2000 to 2021. I will explain why I'm stopping at 2021. Basically what happened is we had Watson, first robot to win at Jeopardy. Then we have ImageNet, visual recognition, AlphaGo. So that was a system that was able to beat human at Go. Go is the Japanese version of chess. Then we have in 2020, GPT-3, 2021, DALI. So why that slide I didn't put for the 2023 ChatGPT-4. So the thing is, we have so many more. 2022, Roomba, the first vacuum cleaner robot, narrow AI. 2008, iPhone and Siri. 2014, Alexa. 2016, the first robot citizen. 2017, the first AI music composer. And there is a rumor that actually said that an AI composer is the main composer for songs for BTS, Blackpink, and a lot of the Korean bands right now. So during 2000 to 2021, were the major, I would say, field created. And 2023, we have the change from ChatGPT 3 to ChatGPT 4, and we're expecting no ChatGPT 5. But ChatGPT 4 is an evolution of ChatGPT. So that's why I stopped at 2021. I would say that no, we're not anymore in a revolution, but in an evolution period of time. But that's a challenging concept. So what is most important for you right now? It's coding. So how can we apply that? Well, there is actually a field called AI-assisted coding. It exists quite from a long time, but the idea is the Stack Flow to ChatGPT. That's basically the transition of mindset. Before, you had to browse internet, you had to type, you had to find your solution, you have to learn, and you have to do all of that. No, you just have to ask ChatGPT to provide you with a templating solution, And then you need to modify it, understand it, and apply it to what you want to do. AI coding, it allows you to automate some part, it enhances various aspects of your coding, and it can help you provide better productivity, quality, and also do creativity through research. It also helps you to collaborate with the new tools. But this is far from being able to replace you. This is far from being good enough to take the output of ChatGPT or any of those tools, put it into a system and execute it. It does not really work. It can work, but it is not perfect. So who here has already used ChatGPT for coding or tried it? That's my question. Have you ever tried to ask ChatGPT to develop something for you?
Vivian, usually I'm a lecturer in some university, so my student always use, not always, but some of my students also use this ChatGPT to make some like a task, to finish his task. So I think this is, do you think this is a cheat mode, or maybe can have someone, or what do you think?
Keep that question for after the talk. And you
okay.
why I'm saying that. Keep that question. This is a really good question, and we're going to be on it later. But keep that one. And I do not, and as you have proven, people are using ChatGPT. So let's go to the different step of AI-assisted coding. Let's pause ChatGPT for now. There is 3 major fields. Code completion, which is the oldest field on AI, which is narrow AI. Then we have code generation, which is more either narrow or general, depending on the tools, and code analysis, which is narrow AI mostly, and some systems use actually general AI. So code completion is basically the ability for a system, an AI, to suggest you autocomplete code, snippets of code, or like closing, whatever it is. And this has started in 1957. And we all know Visual Studio. Visual Studio was released first in 1996. All of us have used code completion. All of us. No one has not used code completion. So if you did, you all were already using AI in your system. You just didn't call it AI. You called it code completion, but it's an AI system. It's a narrow AI system. Then you have code generation, which is more generated code from natural language descriptions, diagram or templates. And that is much more complex. This is clearly a field that is expanding. And right now there is no tool that is actually able to do that perfectly. Then we have code analysis, which refer to the ability to detect, fix the errors, optimize, do performance optimization, security testing, and provide insight on your code. So there is something that you need to know. ChatGPT, and I know most of you have seen that news, but you have to realize ChatGPT passed like months back the Google coding interview for a level 3 engineer worth a salary of $183,000 in US. It's also passed the Amazon coding interview. It even passed the United States medical licensing exam. Not with the best grades, not perfectly, but it did do those things. Why that's important? That's important because it means that done properly, in a proper context, with a proper level of information, those tools can create exact programs or concepts that we want. Now, if you ask him to produce a full complete program or system, it will not be able to do it due to limitation on ChatGPT 3. But if you ask him to guide you or to teach you some things or to understand, and we will look about that later, if you are stuck, for example, as someone was saying, those tools are great. Now, why is it such a benefit? And it is a cheat code in a certain way, but it is a valuable cheat code for you, the company you're working with, and your career if you use it properly. First, it allows you to reduce time and effort. Now, why? Because there is a lot of repetitive and tedious tasks, for example, that could be automated through AI, that could actually be removed. Because what is important is it also helps you to enhance that quality and reliability of your code. It allows you to prevent errors, consistency, style, enable faster development and testing. And what people misunderstand is it's actually foster creativity and collaboration. Because it allows you to have new ways of coding. But the idea, the concept, the way you have to think about a program is still you, is still the human part. And so if you have less time to focus on repetitive, tedious tasks, but more time to focus on creating, on architecturing your software, on creating the algorithm path, for example. And then you have better way of collaborating with people, because you can intuitively work together and use the system, this ChatGPT system or any other system, as a sounding board for brainstorming. And that allows you to have the proper usage of those tools. So those tools need to be a support. They should not be a replacement for you, because they are not designed for that, and they are not to the quality of what a company would expect from us. So why is it not to that quality? Well, there is two main things that I put in the slide, but there is much more if you look at the different tools. The first one is AI is biased. It is discriminating. And that is due to how they are trained and how they are learned. But you have to think about it in a way that when an AI get the knowledge, they get it from what they were trained to at the start, but they get it also from what all the other people put into the system. Every time someone feeds something to the system learns it, acquires that knowledge, put it into his, network, and create answers based on all of that. So there is always a problems, and there is problems, for example, with transparency, ethics, social, political implication. So there is a lot of different problematic that we could look into. And it raises also some concern right now, and we hear more and more about it, but security, privacy. Let's say you're a company and you're working on a proprietary software. If a developer starts to type the detail of that software inside ChatGPT, all that stays inside ChatGPT. It is there. Everyone who actually query ChatGPT could have access to those information, which means there is no privacy and there is no security for your information. So as a company, that is not something that you can afford. That's why when you use those tools, you need to be really careful of what you put in the system. Now, code generation. It is an exciting field. And to be honest, it's evolving really, really fast. What I've looked at 6 months ago is not what I've seen last week or what you will see in 3 months or 4 months. It's great. It has a potential, but right now there is so many pitfalls that it's not something you can trust. You can use it, but you cannot trust it. So the main approach right now in code generation in AI, there are 3 of them: rule-based generation, template-based generation, and neuronal network generation. The rule base is basically the most standard and easy. You have rule, you have pattern to generate code, and then it generates expression, it is generating the programming language. Template is you already have predetermined template example to generate that code, and you will use code spinets or API calls, and it will generate the system around that and all the code. No, neural generation is more like ChatGPT. This is where you go from rules, templates, to a human-like experience. Type the thing in neural language, you know, how you would say it. It's basically it. How you would say it if you had to explain it. And the machine from that will generate the code. And then you can iterate on that and improve and improve. No, that's why I was explaining. And some example, rule-based. If you want to look at rule-based, you can say, I want to convert a regular expression that into a Java code that validates it. So you have already your regular expression. What you want is the Java code that will validate that expression. Nothing complex, pretty standard. So basically, if you go to template base, you have a CSV file and you want it passed into a data frame. Well, you can ask to generate a Python that will read that CSV file and put it. So it's basically an evolution in one step on the way that the machine understands the CSV and then generate the code. And next, as I said, ChatGPT type, neuronal based. This is where you said, okay, I want a chatbot in JavaScript. Please write me the code. And then the system will write you the code. So that's a big difference. Before, it's basically based on the rules. Second one is based on templates, which is the CSV file, for example, or any other thing. And the last one is based on what you're saying. It's your language. Now, another field which is much more present right now, much more efficient, is code analysis in AI. So code analysis for any software is critical of the software development lifecycle. It's not something you can miss because it helps you to address code issue, allow you to have more efficient coding, and ensure that there is less problem on your code. And we have been all using that already, but there is basically those, software available for quite some time. And there is 3 types of AI code analysis. So static analysis, which is what Visual Studio also does, which is an analysis of your code without running it. So it will allow for coding errors, security vulnerability, performance bottleneck, templating, minimizing. Then you have dynamic analysis, which is more when you're actually monitoring and testing your software while it's running. But during code execution, there is a lot of system nowadays that you can have in a CI/CD pipeline that allow you to do that. Basically black box testing. And then you have hybrid analysis, which is both of them at the same time. It starts with a static, combine the dynamic, and provide you a more accurate representation of your software. So code review. As I said, most of us do already that with S-Lint. This is something that you have most probably all installed on your Visual Studio. S-Lint, analyze your code in real time while you're typing it, provide you suggestion, all of those things. Then you have tools that do refactoring like Code Cleanup. Basically, it analyzes your system and your code, look at complexity, duplication, maintainability, and then it provides you with suggestion to refactor. So it does not code for you, but it allows you to improve the code quality. Now you have things like Sentry, which then analyze the system while it's running. So runtime error, exception, insight, everything black box debugging. So this is 3 steps that all of us are doing. And those tools now allow us to do it faster, better, and more precise. No, I didn't want it to have only a theoretical discussion today. That's not fun. I wanted to show you in real life what it looked like using ChatGPT. And this is also showing you the difference between evolutions, because last time I did the talk on AI, only ChatGPT 3.5 existed. Now we have 3.5 and 4. There is a difference between both of those. And showing you that was also part of this presentation. So let me just get my ChatGPT around. Okay, can everyone see my screen again with the ChatGPT this time?
Yes, clearly.
Perfect. Perfect. So we're going to do that simple. Really simple, actually. I will take 2 prompts, one in ChatGPT 3.5 and the same prompt in ChatGPT 4, just to look at the answer. And the first prompt that I will work on is simple. I want you to act as a software developer. I will provide some specific information about the web app requirements, and it will be your job to come up with an architecture, code, and unit test for developing a high-quality secure app with Node.js. My first request is, I want an API that displays the current weather from a free API. Nothing complex. And now I'm asking that to ChatGPT 3.5. So what will ChatGPT give me? Disclaimer, ChatGPT can be slow. That is the one problem that we have, you know. I'm far away from the US. And those servers, yeah, exactly, network error. Okay, here. So this is ChatGPT 3.5 giving an answer. As you see, he's giving me all the steps. He said, create your project, install your Express file. Here's your Express server. All the details, how to run the server, how to do the unit test. Okay, pretty simple. Pretty simple. And if you look at it, it didn't provide me much because I have to find which API to use. I have to find all those things. But it provided me a basic template. Now I'm going to do the same with ChatGPT 4. Just being sure that nothing is on. Yes. Same thing, ChatGPT 4. He is telling me he's going to use Open Weather API. So he already found an API for it. And then, if you look at it, this is much more detailed. This is much more thought through already. It's like, okay, security. So your Open API, your Open Weather API needs to be in the environment file, not in the code. So basically, you have environment variable. It is looking at much more things in the way that this is actually giving me a way to choose a city. The other one didn't. So we are looking at a much more precise already thinking about the software. If we look at the both, if we compare both of them, the quality of the software given to me by ChatGPT 4 is of a higher level of ChatGPT 3.5. Is it a great software? Is it a full piece of code that you can use and as a production system? Most probably not. But is it a good boiler base for you to be able to actually start working? This is great. You can actually start to work with that. You can actually create your boilerplate, and then from that boilerplate, you do your coding, you improve. So that's a good way to speed the coding process. Now, more importantly, and this is another prompt now that I'm going to do, which is much more useful at the start. It basically replaces Stack Overflow question and the delay on it. So I'm going to take the same start of the prompt. It's okay, always simple, but define it who ChatGPT is. This is important. The system doesn't know who he is. He is agnostic. So you need to define who the system is. And you say, I want you to act as a software developer. Please explain me the following Docker image. And then I will literally take a really long and complex Docker image, paste it there. And they will explain me all the details about this Docker image. He will explain me every parameters, lines, and what they're used for. Okay, he's telling you this Docker file outlines the steps to build a Docker image for a WordPress application running on Apache and PHP. Here is the explanation of each steps. So every time you have a piece of code that you don't understand, every time that you have a piece of code that you're unsure about what they're doing, use ChatGPT. This is like having Stack Overflow and Google merged together and answering you right away. Still, don't forget, be critical. Be sure that you're understanding yourself, everything, because there is always this bias. There is always a possibility that ChatGPT actually invented something. And there was a case recently of a lawyer in the United States being caught for using ChatGPT because he was citing cases that never existed that ChatGPT gave him. So be sure that you understand what is written and you can actually search about it. Now, this is a Docker image. And some of you will go into the field of DevOps infrastructure. Some of you might never touch that part. But one of the things is automation is everywhere. And one of the tools that we use for DevOps and infrastructure at IO Connect, for example, is Terraform. So now, looking at Terraform and that image, so I give him a Docker image. Now, let's say I want to build that Docker image on my Terraform system, and I use GCP. Create a Terraform file for deploying this image to GCP. Okay, then he's going to create the full Terraform configuration for me. This configuration will have to be adapted, will have to be fixed, but it's the same. It gave you a boilerplate. It speed up your process. Everything that you had to write there and would have taken maybe 5 to 10 minutes. Now it takes 30 seconds, and then now you can fix it. And you can improve it. So a big part of AI is context. Its most important thing is the context for those kind of tools. So in the future, what we will see in work, and we're starting to see it, is we feed part of code to AI. We explain to the AI what we want that code to do. And from that, we iterate. So right now I have this Terraform script and I'm missing some part. Add DNS plot.test.com as a URL. So what I'm telling him right now is I'm describing the infrastructure that I want. I'm saying that I want a DNS with a host name, and then that I want that in Terraform with a load balancer and HTTPS. And you see, this is where the AI lost. It's actually providing for me a lot of context that I don't need, a lot of information that I don't need. It's still able to give me the Terraform, but a lot of information that I don't need. So it is smart, but at the same time, it is stupid. So use it, yes. Cheat code, not really. It's there for you to use. It is actually there for you if you know how to use it properly. Don't use it blindly. Don't just, oh, this is my exercise, for example, and this is the code that I need, and it will give it to you. You will learn maybe one or two things, but first, you will not learn what good code is. Second, you will not be able to redo it if you don't have an AI with you. Don't forget, everything that you want the AI to do for you, you need to be able to understand it, to know it, and you need to be able to actually do it yourself. If you're not able to do, and everything that I typed today, everything that I did and I showed you, is things that I'm able to do. So I'm able to criticize what the system is doing. If you're not able to do it, don't use AI first. Use AIs to understand, use AIs to help you fix, or create a boilerplate, a simple boilerplate, but learn to do it by yourself. And thank you for listening today. That's basically my talk for you on AI. I hope you have learned some things there. And I really, really wish for you to actually continue to watch what AI is becoming in the next years, because this is going to be a life-changing for most of us. There is no other way of saying it. Andy.
Okay, Vivian, thank you very much for your presentation. That is a good presentation.
Thank you. Did that answer your question about cheat code?
Yeah, I already know this one. And then we already get a new knowledge about AI assist coding that can make us improving efficiency, accuracy, and innovation. This webinar already give us a new enlightenment about how to use AI, especially in coding. Thank you very much for the presentation, the best presentation for today. And the next program is question and answer session. Well, for those who want to ask, please raise your hand, open webcam and mic. If you have some problem with your audio, you can also type your question in the chat room. So anyone to ask question about AI in coding, please let us know. So Vivian, for your activity in your country now, still about AI or something different?
Oh, so at IO Connect, we work quite a little bit with AI right now. We're not expanding too much into the field, but for example, boilerplating is something that we use AI for.
Okay.
Terraform scripts.
Oh, Terraform script. That is your project now.
That's not my project, but this is one of the way we use it. So we use it for Terraform script because this way we speed up the process.
Oh yeah, I already see this one.
Yeah,
in your demo. That's very good.
Exactly. So that's the demo is based on real usage. It is not based on theoretical knowledge on that. We are using that to speed up the process on Terraform script, and configuration, code review, because we have, as every company has, there is legacy code. So Documentation is not there. ChatGPT help you with that. You put the code, you ask him for a description or a documentation, it will help you write it.
Oh,
That's quite of a lot of helpful ways that we can use it.
oh, that's nice. Okay, guys, anybody want to ask? You can directly open your mic, and maybe if you have a problem with your audio, you can directly type in chat room. Anybody? Hello? Okay, Tangkas. Okay, Tangkas, you can directly ask to Mr. Vivian.
Good afternoon for Mr. Sandy and Mr. Vivian. My question to Mr. Vivian is, the AI is changing our industry, like in all of environment. So in the future, can AI replace the human factor in this industry, or if it's so, what can we do to compete against it?
That's a great question. So, can AI replace human factor? We are far away from it. I would not worry about that. And the thing is, creativity is one part where the AI is not good. One part. So software development is a lot about creativity, more than what people think. And the more you progress into the stage of that work, the more you see it's a lot about creativity. And I would not be worried about AI. I would actually embrace it and use it. So the worst that you can do right now, to my understanding of 20 years being there, and I've seen a lot of evolution, the worst you can do is resist the change, because it's going to happen. There is no way you're going to go out and say, we don't want AI, and it will work. AI is there, it will be there, it will continue. We're having it on our phone, on our TV, on whatever you want, it's there. So the best way to think about it is like, how can I use that tool? How can I make it something valuable for me? It's not about being replaced by it. It's about how to use it. Don't think about being replaced. Think about how can you use it.
Okay, Tangkas. Did you understand?
Yes, Mr.
Okay, that's nice. Thank you very much, Tangkas. Okay, the next
Thank
question.
you.
Anybody want to ask again? This is the best chance to ask about AI in coding. Because in our university, Vivian, the best major is about IT. So most of the student in here, they're in IT. So I think AI is the best topic for them.
Yeah, we have 2 questions in the chat. So let's go to that. Galang. Can you suggest me about thesis topic? What can I do if AI can do everything? You want a good thesis topic? I have one for you right here, right there. There is an open source version of AI, an open source, like the competitor of ChatGPT that is open source. The one question that no one is able to give right now an answer to is, how does AI actually work or learn? Look at articles, look at everything. AIs are black box. So if you want to, you can do thesis on that. Like, do research. It could take a lifetime to find the solution. Don't worry. No, there is a lot of topics that you can do as thesis. Look at AI integration in human life. Like, how can we do that? If you look at traditional coding system, for example, what you could look at efficiency of language. how to improve language efficiency. You could look at how AI actually created its own language. There is myriad of topics. Don't worry for AI replacing you and can do everything. It's not possible. And really, that should be the list of your concern. Focus first on what you can actually write about that bring value. Don't forget the rest. Okay, next we have Ryan. If we know ChatGPT is AI, okay, how system ChatGPT work to solve a problem? I mean, are the creator of ChatGPT and set all information in software? So ChatGPT was trained. So all AI systems have a training. So they have a set of data on which we train them, and there is models. I don't have the time to go into the detail. We can take a long time to speak about that. But basically, there is a set of data, and ChatGPT set of data stopped in 2021. This is also the reason why in the presentation 2021 was the date. So they set all of the information. ChatGPT learned from that. Then every time someone interacts with ChatGPT, there is a way to provide feedback. For example, if it gives you a code and you say, no, that's not exactly what I want. I wanted this to be like this. The system understands that and learn from it. So the system is perpetually learning and evolving. If you look at the difference between, for example, ChatGPT 4 and ChatGPT 3.5, there is a world of difference. No, they are speaking about ChatGPT 5, which will have no restriction in terms of learning and access to data. So this is even bigger. So that's the principle. And if you take the open source version of ChatGPT, not ChatGPT, but open version of the equivalent of ChatGPT, it's the same. You have to train it. You have to have an amount of data on which you train the system to achieve something. Okay, Tri and Jani. Okay, I want to ask about something that's a bit out of topic. Do you think that AI in the future will enter the psychology field or related to self-coaching, life coaching, self-care, human resources, industry, and company? Okay, that's a really great topic. And I know that one quite well. It is really, really difficult to actually give proper coaching or psychology field, psychiatry, or anything like that, because it's a human-to-human interaction. There is a lot of emotions. AI doesn't understand emotion. They don't feel. So that's basically one of the problematic. There is also a lack of empathy. There is a lot of information. So when you do coaching, for example, to a person or psychiatry session, psychology session, what will happen is the person will not only look at what you're saying, he will interpret it into the context of who you are, what he knows about you, your micro expression, tone of voice, inflection. So there is a lot of information that the machine is not, not able to do right now. Will one day that happen? Maybe. It's already happening in some field. Like, yes, human resources, there is already AI for those kind of things in terms of helping you understand better your resources and the people. Psychology test, AI system. It's gonna happen. They will have tools, but will it replace a coach or a psychoanalyst or a psychiatrist? Not anywhere soon. I'm not even sure it can. There is a lot of adaptability and humanness is on those interactions that AI is not able to provide. Okay. Ale, I see that you have a mic. Just answering first to Will done, and then I come to you. Wow, a lot of questions today.
Yeah.
Can AI become dangerous, and how can we anticipate and mitigate potential danger of AI related? Yes. Well, that's a big topic that is actually being discussed right now. AI can be dangerous. AI can. I'm not gonna. I didn't want it to show that in the demo for ethical reasons. But for example, if you ask how to hotwire a car from ChatGPT, ChatGPT will tell you, "I can't do that. It's unethical." No, there is ways to actually bypass that and to get an answer from ChatGPT that will tell you exactly how to hotwire a car. So you can imagine there is much more dangerous conversation that can happen. So yes, AI has a lot of risks, lot. And there is a lot of people that are looking at control. Elon Musk, even the president, the founder of ChatGPT, actually in his conference when he announced ChatGPT 5, said it's ready to work with regulators, governments, to actually find ways to control and secure AI systems. But the thing is, if you look at it, there is two things. There is a system that we can get a lot of information and knowledge from. And there is a Terminator version of Skynet. There is a world between those. You know, those systems right now, they're not robot with hand, they cannot build things, they are enclosed. ChatGPT 3.5, for example, doesn't have proper access to internet as per se. ChatGPT 4 start to get access to internet information, but there is limit that still exists. How it will be in 5, 10, 15 years, I'm afraid I don't have an answer. Can it be bad for us? Yes, was said also of internet, it was said also of cell phone, computers, so many other things. So we don't really know. Well, it's a brand new field. We're looking also at quantum physics at the same time, black hole. There is so many uncertainties. So if you start, worrying about that, you're not gonna go anywhere. Okay, Ali, you have a microphone, I think.
Okay, Vivian, I think this will be a long journey to answer all of those questions.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, so maybe we give a limit one more question about this one. So after this, the time already enough, so you can close your statement. You can answer one more again.
Okay, so let's put Ali because he was a microphone. He was waiting for a long time, and for the other one, I'm gonna drop my email. You can actually send me an email with your questions, and I will answer them.
Okay, that's great. Okay, Arlie, you can start your question.
We can't hear you, Ali.
I think he lost his microphone.
I don't know. Ali? Nope, still not.
Not connect yet.
That's Einstein theory about computer science.
Yeah, maybe you can try to type, Ali, because we cannot hear you.
Sandy, while he's typing, do you know the theory of Einstein about computer science?
Computer science, yes.
So what did he say about it, Einstein?
Computer science, yeah. Because I'm also teach about computer science in my university. So actually, before this webinar start, I teach about artificial intelligence also. So this topic is have a correlation about this one.
Yeah.
And I think that's when I hear your presentation about AI, the first time I know the ChatGPT, I think this is something like a new, and then we can like it can make us more lazy. I think first. Then after I hear about your presentation about how AI in coding, so it can make us like improve our like performance, something like this one. So this make me open new enlightenment about this one. So I want to say a great thank you about this one. So it can make me more know about AI, especially on ChatGPT now.
Yeah. So Ali got a question. So he said, in the version ChatGPT, free version, and actually it's the same with the paid version, Ali, they stated that their knowledge is limited to events before 2021. Why is that? And is there a chance that they will become real time? Okay. Oh, that's actually, I would say, a cost reason, mostly. So you have to train the model. So you have to train the system. So they trained the system until 2021, with data until 2021, which is a huge amount of data if you think about it. Like everything that existed as data before 2021 was put into the system. Books, internet, everything you can find on internet before 2021 nearly was there. So that's petabytes and petabytes of data already. They will most probably continue to train the model and then release data. Will they make it real time? The thing that they're doing, which is a kind of a compromise now, is ChatGPT is able to access internet. So in the new version ChatGPT 4, you already have that. Before in ChatGPT 3.5, you need the plugin. But basically, by accessing internet, you can search or feed information that ChatGPT doesn't have, and basically expand the model with new information. Will they one day become real time? I don't know. This is costly to run. This is really a costly infrastructure behind. And OpenAPI at the start is only a research center. It was not designed as a company that was built to make money. No, it's a bit different with Microsoft's big investment in it. But where are they going? We'll see. ChatGPT 5 will actually give us the trajectory of where they are going. So this is what I'm expecting. ChatGPT 4, great progress. ChatGPT 5 will tell us where they are going. So wait and see. Wait and see.
Okay, Vivian, thank you very much for your answer. And all of the participants that the question is not yet answered, you can drop the email to vivian@rogero.io. And then before we end this webinar, we want to inform about, please complete the registration form and then feedback form to record your attendance, and feedback form will be displayed at the end of the session. And before we leave, we can take a picture together, so it will become our like memory from Vivian to us. Okay, maybe you can start to open your webcam. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and another pose, maybe. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Vivian. I hope we can meet in other occasion.
Pleasure.
And yeah, even you can leave from webinar if you want. And also big thank for all the participants that joined in this webinar. And the last slide is to fill the feedback form. I think maybe Ridwan can share the, okay. Okay, in this session, yeah, I hope all the participants will be fill form from IOTalk and form from CC or Career Center. From CC, you can see in the chat room. So in this webinar, you can get 2 certificates from Career Center and then from IOTalk.